I would say, obviously, you don't obviously want to lose a game like this, especially with it being a hated division rival. But it was a little bittersweet because if there's one thing that died that game, it's that narrative, and we all know the narrative in the room, the whole quarterback controversy, and what better way to kill one than to go out there and throw three interceptions and put your team in a hole like that.
Yeah, the way you said that is exactly my line of thinking. Is I don't want to be that guy that said "told you so," especially when it comes to a loss to Philly, because man, that's not a time I really want to be like, "Yeah, Cowboys lost, so I told y'all." But yeah, it was kind of nice to see that happen. Although we were very close for an amazing comeback that would have kept the narrative going.
So, yes, the death of that narrative, that's music to my ears. Of course, a loss is the opposite of such. But when you look at the way that game was played, our offense the last few weeks has been heavily run dominant. The passing game is not good. And you see the way the Eagles played us. Every time they had stacked boxes and blitz, running was tough. And that's what you expect, right? And the one thing
I would disagree about running being tough on that game. That boy Zeke was turning back the clock.
Well, Zeke had some good runs, but I would say that there were both between Zeke and Pollard. There were some plays where the Eagles put 7 in the box or got edge pressure and they stuffed it. And you could go back and watch that. There were some 10-yard runs and there were some 2s and some 1s. And so, but my main point is that you will face less of that when your quarterback is back. And that's what I'm looking forward to big time.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a true point. And I guess I didn't really see the numbers like that on the box, but I thought for sure the run game was like a tale of two halves. I thought our O-line was struggling early on in the game. But in the second half, I thought it opened up the running game. They were pushing the line forward of the Cowboys' offensive line where it was, and you could see a lot more good, consistent run plays going forward instead of getting stopped for 1 yard, 2 yard that made a 2nd and 8 situation. So,
yeah,
but yeah, it's totally true with Dak back in there. You're not even going to have to worry about it as much.
100%. Let me clarify. What they were doing was they were either lining up 4, and then they would have 3 linebackers who would look like they're going to drop back and then blitz, or they'll have 5, and then they had 2 on the end that would come in with pressure. And they were tending to be late blitzes. So initially, if you're reading it, you might not think it's a stack box, but they're coming with pressure.
I would argue that the difference between the first half and the second half is obviously, the turnovers. But
I think I know where you're going. Oh, okay. Okay, you got it out of the way. I thought you were going to say.
Well, in a sense, it's like the offense, like, okay, like you could make the argument like you're all trying to make that they struggled to run the ball in the first half. But I would argue that the offense just never got a chance to get into a rhythm because your quarterback wanted to sell the game for the entire first half. And you can't go ahead, Rudy.
Oh, so basically I was just going to say that what I was angling at wasn't that we were running it poorly. Rather, if you saw us when they have 5 defenders in the box and we've got our 5 offensive linemen, we did great. When it's man on man, we were hitting them. It was just the other when they brought more pressure, it was a different scenario. But there's no doubt about it that when we had a hat on a hat, our guys were blocking. It wasn't a poor blocking performance, really. That's not what I meant. I meant that they were just bringing it.
While we're talking about the run game, because there's a bunch of other things that I want to get to, but I think we have to really sit back and appreciate 0-2-1, future Hall of Famer right there. Obviously, milestone achievement achieved that night, surpassing 10,000 all-purpose yards, 3rd Cowboys running back in NFL history. And the man turned back the clock and showed you what old Zeke used to look like, especially on that touchdown run. I don't know if y'all saw old boy number Avante Maddox, or I think Maddox is 29, completely getting fooled by the little jet sweep motion, looking lost, and Zeke cutting up and James Bradbury making business decisions. So I think we got to give Zeke the props that he deserves for such a turn back the clock performance.
Zeke absolutely deserves those props. And the way you said that, turn back the clock, was the best way to describe it. Because, like you said on that touchdown, if you look at that, a year ago, 2 years ago, Dallas media would have told you Dak runs into whoever 42 was and just goes down right there and picks up 6 or 7, and it's a good run. No. Cuts outside, keeps going. They don't touch him. They did not make contact with Zeke, a guy that they told me was out of shape and slow. How do you not? You're a pro. You didn't touch him. So, yeah, turn back the clock. Perfect way to describe the way Zeke played, and especially a perfect way to describe that touchdown. No one touched him.
I feel
Yeah,
like
Zeke was my MVP for that for this game today. And Justin, I don't think Bradbury is the only guy making business decisions when it comes to Zeke running at him, because I feel like that happens a lot. Almost every game, you can see guys getting in the way, but not really trying to go at him.
And people like to talk about, oh, this team is this team is soft, duh. No, that second half, especially that third quarter, with Zeke touting the rock, really physical, extremely physical, and those are some tough earned yards. I know I started off the podcast saying, they ran the ball pretty effectively, but those are some tough yards that Zeke was getting right there. And I mean, I'll give Tony Pollard some credit too. The man was actually getting those 3-yard gains that I need to see. He wasn't getting stopped for no gain. He wasn't getting stopped for -1. He was churning out those 3-yard runs, and especially with Dak on the way, if the same mentality is kept and those backs are running like that, it's a dangerous football team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say that the way both running backs are running right now it's great to see. There was a play in the second half. Zeke runs off to the left side, and Tyler Smith either got too far ahead of him or just hadn't reached his defender yet. Essentially, Zeke's staring at a defender here, and Tyler's like right here, and Zeke's like right here. And he cuts inside and picks up another 7 yards. And so there were plays you could see where the offensive line may not have been doing good, and Zeke or Tony is stopped for 2 or 3. But then there were other plays where they would outperform what the offensive line was giving them. There were also other plays where the offensive line did great. There was a play where the play right before Tony Pollard has the screen for a 0-yard gain, there's a run up the middle, and there's a nice hole. Tony hits it. The safety's right there. Tony bounces, spins off the safety, and gets another 5 yards. It's a 15-yard gain right there. Great execution by the offensive line, and Tony making the play. And you saw that with Zeke as well. So when the plays were to be made, our running backs were making them.
Now let's talk about the negative. Okay. I feel like we delayed this long enough because I tried to tell y'all. I know that we did a good job of not even acknowledging what a lot of people are. Okay, maybe I'm being facetious, but certain subsects of people were trying to push about some quarterback controversy. And boy, did it rear its ugly head of why that talk was ludicrous. And it started out from the gate, bro. Two interceptions in the first half. And then obviously the debacle about the fourth down, CD not getting the first down marker, that just starting off the game that poorly. But the quarterback, oh my goodness. Like, before I just keep floundering, y'all have any thoughts?
Well,
to kick us off?
We can get into the fourth down decision on that little series in a second, but I think you described it perfectly when you said it's hard to win when the other quarterback is throwing the game. And that's exactly what I thought, is that for one half, you had the quarterback playing for the other team and just giving them points, just giving them short fields. And it took like a kind of like a minor miracle, or just really good coaching and hard-nosed football to get back into that game, because they dug such an early hole. Well, actually, they didn't dig an early hole. He did.
Rush.
And it was, and I think we all kind of expected the odds to hit, and maybe not on that like level of how bad it hit again and again and again, of how poorly a backup quarterback can play. But when it started snowballing, you could just see, okay, that's who he is, and it is what it is. going with the
Yeah,
backup like
I
that.
think that's exactly what you expect from a team with a good defense and a bad quarterback. We saw the exact way
I didn't
that,
say good defense. I didn't say good defense.
I think he's talking
dude,
about the
you saw that
Cowboys.
second half. That defense shut it down,
He's talking about the Cowboys, not
right?
the
Oh,
Eagles.
my bad. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
you
yeah.
meant Philly. I thought you meant Philly's good defense.
Oh, no. I was talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah,
My
the
bad.
performance you saw on Sunday night from the Cowboys was exactly what you would expect from a team with a good defense and a bad quarterback, where they adjust, the defense does make their adjustments and gives the offense a chance to win the game. And at the end of the day, the few turnovers, they screw the game up, right? And I think that when people were like, oh, Cooper Rush, let's keep him in, this is foolish. Not once did we have to go against a team who game planned for the run like Philly did, shut that completely out, and then it was up to the passing game. We haven't experienced that this year with Cooper Rush. So, I mean, this is exactly what you would expect going against that.
And
They were bad picks too. They
it
were
was
just
just
bad
exactly,
throws.
Ian. It was just the worst time picks of all time. So the first one, Gallup is open. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. Like, y'all want to give props to the Eagles secondary, but this is the NFL. Windows close and open like this, and you cannot be late on a route like that. Obviously gets tipped up in the air. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson gets a
Well,
gimme. Second pick.
if I can, I think it was just too ambitious for him. Like, take the dump off right there. It was a play action, and we see him like those first 4 games. Those are the plays he makes, Cooper Rush. But I felt like it was just too much traffic there, so just dump it off and go ahead.
Regardless, the ball wasn't on time, so
Yeah,
I agree with you, Ian. Yes, if you want to play with house money, just take especially with it being first down, I believe it was. Second pick. Man had no business throwing that ball. I don't know who
no,
he thought he was, what he thought this was. To his credit, the previous 4 games that he played, well, to an extent, the man never played out of his ability. He knew what he was, and he knew what he could do. That second pick, that was a man who forgot who he was because that ball had no business going there. Before I get to the third pick, which that's a whole nother discussion, the disappointing part about this, despite the disaster, you had an opportunity to go into halftime only down 13 points. Obviously, Noah Brown, miraculous catch, doesn't get called in by a hair. Is what it is. But second and third down, very disappointing. Very disappointing. You have a ball that's batted down because the ball's not high enough. And if it doesn't get bat down, CD walks into the end zone. Third down, Gallup is open in the back of the end zone. That ball needs to go to the back pine line, the same back pine line Noah Brown's butt fell on. And this dude, Cooper Rush, gonna short it, leave it short, underthrow it, gets tipped, and we're talking about what great secondary play. But that was a huge window for NFL standards. I'm not saying like you need an elite quarterback to make that throw. You need a quarterback with some amount of decent arm strength makes that touchdown pass, and you go into the half down 20.
It almost looked like he was trying to be cute with it and just place it in there. Like, throw the thing, guy.
Well, I just don't think he has the ability to do it. I don't know if it was a matter of cute.
We were at like the 15-yard line. It wasn't far.
Rudy, I'm not going to sit here and say that that's a layup throw, but I'm going to say your starting quarterback that's coming back is going to be able to make that throw, and that's the difference. If you still on the fence of what's the difference between those two people, I would advise you pull up that play, and you'll see the difference because Dak knows where to put that ball, and Cooper Rush just cannot put the ball where it needed to be on that play. And then the third pick, like I don't know if it would have really mattered or whatnot, but it gives you an opportunity. Obviously, we all know CD was wide open because Bradbury, once again, getting cooked. But, great Eagles secondary, by the way. But, however, the footwork on that play, abysmal. Like I heard people talking about, well, the old line just didn't hold up for him to make that throw. No, 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 no. Yeah, it wasn't clean, but there was plenty of time. If it was a 5-step drop, and on that 5th step, if he throws the ball like he's supposed to, it's a touchdown. But I don't know if you guys want to go back and look, but he shuffles his feet before he throws the ball off his back foot, and obviously we saw the result of that. Gardner Johnson was playing center field for the Phillies and got the third out to end the World Series or something like that.
Yeah, you heard commentary trying to blame it on him being hit. And, dude, yes, he had the pocket and he could have stepped up in it and made that throw. You're supposed to throw it much earlier than he did. And, oh, boy, yeah, they're trying to force that to be Tyler Smith's mistake almost. Come on, man.
Ian, unless you have something else to add about Cooper Rush, I would like to talk about this defense before we get out of this segment right here.
Well, I was just going to say, with all those mistakes Cooper Rush made, he still had a chance to win the game. But I think the head coaching, there was no room for any mistakes or any type of – they had to be perfect from that point on. And, Justin, I think you described it, but there was a lot of supposed-to-be-here plays that Cooper Rush just didn't make. And it's the first time I see him look really rattled on a game. And he kind of calmed down coming out of the halftime, but it was just – I would say uncharacteristic of him, but it's also it is what it is. He's a backup for a reason.
And before we get to the defense, I think a mistake that goes on top of that gave the Eagles another score is the 4th down controversy and I don't know if any of y'all heard. I know me and Ian, we talked about this off air, but I'm okay with how Mike McCarthy described it to the media. Basically, go ahead.
I was just going to say this about McCarthy. I didn't really care what he said because you can pick it apart however you want to. I mean, the way it happened, it was fast and fast. But the play was still there to be made at the end of the day on the 4th down is that Hendershot was still open, who he was looking for. But like we mentioned, it's supposed to go to the sideline. It's supposed to lead him, just lead him, and the play is there to be made. But he throws it trailing, so Hendershot's got to catch it like this. And behind him, it's just impossible to do that. And, you could complain about McCarthy should have called timeout, blah, blah, blah. I don't really – it's just yeah, he could have, but also Cooper Rush could have made the throw. Let's not overblow this situation. You're crying over spilled milk.
Yeah.
I'm a little interested in because I didn't hear it. Could you go and clue me in onto what McCarthy said about that?
So basically in the post-game presser last night, Sunday night, that being, McCarthy told the media that essentially what happened was they assumed that they got the first down because
they were told.
The referee that was on the Cowboys sideline, she marked it as a first down. So the Cowboys, according to McCarthy, were okay, let's hurry up and get to the line so the Eagles can't challenge this. Obviously, when we saw on the replay, the official on the other sideline marked it short and threw up 4th down. That's when the referee on the Cowboys sideline, she says, oh, yeah, we had him with his knee down short of the marker. So McCarthy then goes, okay, well, in cases like this, I typically lose these challenges when the official is so sure of themselves and saying that, hey, we had their knee down before the marker. So he says, okay, we like the personnel that they're in because it's man coverage. They don't have the people on the field that they like the matchup on the field that they have, and we already have the play called in, so let's just run it so they can't substitute, and we already got the coverage that we want to see, which was man coverage. And to Ian's point, all you had to do was execute because the play was right there to be made. It was a layup. It was a layup throw. Fact of the matter is, you can cry all you want about McCarthy not challenging it. You can cry all you want about how they rushed it. We're forgetting all this if Cooper Rush just hits Hendershot between the 8 and the 9 rather than trying to hit Bradbury between the 2 and the 4.
I don't. Well, sure. You convert that fourth down. Yes, no one's talking about it right now, but I'm not fully satisfied with that answer. That he was told that they didn't get it, and then so he knew it was a fourth down, and they still rushed to it. And not, dude, during the entire game, they did not force the Eagles to keep their defense on the field. They would make their subs. They weren't rushing for matchups, so it wasn't even aligned with what they did the rest of the game.
Rudy, the play call told you that they got the matchup they wanted. It was a man beater, and a man was beat.
And that was the sole time the whole game that you had it? Like, I'm saying they weren't even playing for that. It almost sounds like an excuse from McCarthy. I know why they run up to the line is because they think they have the right matchup. But I'm telling you that if you're not even sure you have the first down and you could potentially end the drive.
Hypothetically,
because
let's just say they slow it down and they don't even challenge it and they still run the play. Are you still disgusted with the call?
I'm less disgusted because at least you got to think it through.
But why? They knew that they were going. They knew
so
they had the
what's
play
interesting
call
about that play.
They got exactly what they wanted, and there was just poor execution.
So yeah, that's definitely there too. But if you look at the way the defense was set up as well, you could convince me that should have gone to Zeke straight up handoff because they were not lined up to stop the run either. I understand he's saying we had the matchup for Hendershot, but dude, you weren't looking for matchups the entire game, and the one time you did was on a 4th and 4 that you weren't even sure you had. You didn't know you had the first. The drive ends if you don't get it with a backup quarterback who has not been great and your backup tight end. I get what you're saying, but to be so sure you're going to pick it up is insane to me.
Well, you can't go into a situation doubting yourself. That doesn't make any sense to me.
That's right. So leave it to the defense at your own 35.
I don't think,
No.
Rudy, you really have to see how much of a layup this was.
And it could have been the easiest layup. So your field position.
Technically, I will say this. The first read was CeeDee Lamb. I will say that, and he gets blown up because Noah Brown Hassan Reddick flies off the line. Noah Brown has to bump him.
The shallow route.
But it's a simple high-low concept. This is training camp day number 1 on a bootleg. You got a high-low. It's a easy. Obviously, Cooper Rush sees that CeeDee Lamb's not in front of him, man. He sees that. So your next indication is, where's my high concept? Hendershot, wide open, bro. And you could. The only excuse I'll make for Rush for missing this throw is you could make the argument that the defender might have spooked him because he somewhat hesitated, but there was no the corner that's going on the go route with I forget who the receiver was, but there was no reason for that ball not to go to the sideline, and it should have been an easy pitch and catch, but your backup quarterback didn't execute. So that's my only criticism about that.
And you knew who your backup quarterback was before you decided to rush to the line and run that play.
Like I said, this is training camp day 1. This is day 1 stuff, and he just I don't know what his problem was last night, but I don't know. That's just encapsulating the whole night beyond the interceptions is missing easy layups like that.
I just think when you're at your own 35-40 and you're rushing it like that, that's not the matchup you're looking for. And if you allow me real quick, because we've talked about how Zeke was running in circumstances like that, pop Farniak in and get it done. But also, let the ref say it was a first or not. That was the sole time we decided to rush it. Why?
No,
we were not rushing anything the whole game.
Well, he told you because he thought they had the first down. They didn't want the Eagles to challenge it. That's why they rushed up to the line. Now, I say if you call a timeout there, then the Cowboys are going to punt. So you can't call a timeout. The only option that I feel like Cowboys could have made was throwing the red flag. I think in that situation, and he also explained that away by saying, I didn't get those in the past. I don't think I'm going to do that here. So I got no problem with his reasoning about why he didn't do that. But it was on that first down play, it was 2nd and 9. Or no, I'm sorry. On the first down, they ran Zeke and he got 1 yard. So the O-line wasn't really proving they could run the ball that well. and they execute. And I feel like the play was still there.
I think McCarthy gave y'all an excuse and y'all took it.
Well, what do you want him to do?
I can't.
So I mean, I wanted him to slow it down because, like I just said,
but we just
at no point
the reason why they were going so fast.
Yeah, and that explanation would indicate that they were looking for that matchup all day, which they did not.
No,
they were not.
They were going fast because they thought the Eagles were going to challenge it because they thought they had the first.
So you're saying that Mike McCarthy went fast because he was afraid the Eagles were going to challenge the first down that he knew he had.
That he thought that they had because it initially was marked as a first down. So they called the next play saying, oh, hurry up, let's get to the line. Like I said, it shows with the play that they called because that's a staple of their offense and a basic play that they always run. So they said, okay, let's hurry up, let's get to the line and run this play so that and it's a simple play that everybody knows we can run this in this personnel and everybody knows how to run this play. So there's no check with me. There's no, we need to see what the coverage is. We need to see what the personnel is. It's, hey, simple. Let's go. Snap the ball. Then when it obviously occurred to them that, oh, they marked us short. There wasn't okay, obviously you could throw the argument. I'll allow you to throw the argument. Maybe somebody should have gotten his ear and said, hey, you should probably think about challenging this. But that thing was happening so quick. So when they already said, okay, we already know what play we're running. They're in this certain personnel, and take a look at that. Wow, it looks like they're in man coverage. This is already what we want, so it really doesn't matter if we challenge this or not, or if they got it wrong, because this should be easy money. And it was easy money. The dude just didn't execute it.
See, and I totally get what you're saying, and that all would be beautiful on a second down going into a third down. You're not sure if you got the first on a 3rd and 2. Dude, the difference between a 4th and a 1st is massive. That really is a big difference, and you're not sure
for being that
before you ran the play.
His team. I'm not going to kill a coach for being that confident in his team for running a basic concept.
You do it all the time. You kill plenty of teams for going for 2.
That's not.
Yeah, but this is no. But you're not understanding what I'm alluding to. What I'm not killing them is because this is we need 1 yard. This is a play that they run all the time. This is a staple of our offense, and it has the exact cut. We know the exact coverage that they're in, the exact personnel that we want for this exact play, and it happened. And there you go. It's wide open, like you wanted it, and the quarterback just missed the throw. So I think I would expect, backup or not, he needs to be able to make that throw. And he just didn't make those throws last night. But before we end this segment, I just want to say, shout out Cooper Rush. Obviously, Dak's coming back, but I know we killed him the entire time in this episode. But 4-1. Kudos to you.
Bad,
round of applause. Everyone give him a round of applause. He did what he was supposed to do. He performed well above expectations. So as much as we were hypercritical about him, outstanding job. Kudos to you, Cooper. But
now go to the bench.
Wow.
All right, so I know we just spent a lot of time talking about quarterback play, but I want to get into it here as we go around the NFL with 2 surprising good displays from, backup quarterbacks, in my opinion. And the first one I want to get into is the Steelers versus Bucks game with Mitchell Trubisky running out the clock with 4 minutes, or I think 3 minutes to go, but keeping the ball away from Tom Brady and executing a couple 3rd and longs to run out the clock and get the Steelers a W. And the other one I want to talk about is Marcus Mariota for the Falcons. Dude was cooking the 49ers defense.
Ian, come on, man. That was a group project effort. Let's not. I'll give you Trubisky because didn't he scored a game-winning touch? Didn't he scored a game-winning touchdown or came in relief? Don't get me wrong. Mariota scored I think 2 touchdowns. So I'll relax, but still, Continue.
Well, cooking is a overstatement, but the man was perfect entering the fourth quarter, and he was also doing it with his legs. And I feel like that was a good quarterback display by two quarterbacks that are highly criticized and have been written off. That's all the point I was trying to get across.
And that's why we love the NFL. That's why we love the NFL, because both of those teams had no business winning those games, and they won. And that's why I'm not trying to hear this 17-0 Eagles talk just because they got an easy schedule. When, please, bro, those two games alone should highlight the reason. And I think that's the next opponent that they play is Pittsburgh, and
That's correct.
They played pretty salty on defense. So
Okay, so I know you're giving those two quarterbacks some credit that normally don't get credit, but I'm going to transition here to two quarterbacks who normally get all the praise who need to be buried. And they both wear the same number, both old men. I'm talking about Aaron and Tom. Boy. Justin, now which one do you want me to use? Pull the plug or Old Yeller? Same thing.
I mean,
both of them.
Both. Both still got some life in them. They just might have to. They
have enough life to energize Twitter for another week or two, but not enough life to actually do something. They definitely could put up enough numbers in one game to make everyone think that they're still good. They are not. Dude, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady might be two of the worst leaders in the NFL right now. Two of the worst leaders. And they get no blame, no hatred. The media loves them so much that they're blind to it.
I'll agree with Tom Brady, but Aaron Rodgers, man, that man get roasted daily.
Yeah,
the man deserves it.
They be talking about his leadership all the time, so I don't know all that. Like,
and they'll still give him another MVP. Like, it's insane. That man is an awful.
Is overrated, bro. Especially in pro sports. Like, let's be honest.
You have a good leader at your quarterback.
No, man. You should have, as an individual, you should have motivation enough to get that second contract. You don't need no leader to set the example. Just show up and play.
All right. Well, regardless, Rodgers receivers aren't just going to get good tomorrow. You have to work with them. That man does not want to work with them at all.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but what do you say? He'd rather just spike it into the dirt every play?
No, he might as well. He might as well. He throws it to Lazard, and he's just like he's pissed off at it.
Hey, they're probably not doing their job, man. Like, there's one thing. Those especially with the savvy vet Randall getting hurt. Whoo, it's gonna be ugly for those receivers. But before we continue on quarterbacks, even though like this league's obsessed with quarterbacks, we're giving too much credit to Zach Wilson when they just handing the ball off left and right and getting like special teams touchdowns. But they're like, oh, the Jets, they're putting it together, since Zach Wilson came back. So
yeah, didn't Joe Flacco get some W's?
Not only that, he actually slung the ball. So like Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson were actually involved in the offense when he was there.
Did you see Elijah Moore?
Zach Wilson can't get the ball to them. I believe he had nothing. He finished with zero Elijah
targets.
Moore?
Yeah, but did
zero
you see
targets,
his tweet?
Yeah.
Did you see his tweet?
I want to say I did. Something along the lines of like, I don't know why this is happening either, or something like that.
Yeah, somebody was like talking about like the stat line of like 0 targets and obviously 0 receptions with that. And he's just like, bro, if I could say what I want to say, but I'm not because we winning, so I'll just keep my mouth shut. That tells me all I need to hear. You basically said a whole lot. You said a whole lot by saying a whole lot of nothing. But
yeah,
I just saw the most college football play I've ever seen.
Ian's face reaction to some turnover on.
I just saw the most college football play I've ever seen in the NFL. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, not Colts, Chargers, Broncos, but
yeah, but shout out to Mr. Sauce himself for stealing the headlines with the cheesehead thing. I feel like that man's balling out, and Salah's defense is balling out. But those two we can't complimented defense. Let's just go ahead and talk quarterbacks like this pod is doing.
Well, let's also give credit to the man actually carrying that offense, Breece Hall. That guy is a beast. What a rookie.
And obviously, to keep the theme going with quarterbacks, I guess we'd be remiss to not mention the Buffalo-Kansas City game. But you'll get enough of that on other podcasts. So, however, man, y'all just... yeah, they're both good, but like, come on, dude. That's not like that entertaining to watch. Like, there's other games I was more entertained by than those two.
Justin,
games.
I don't know if you heard, but Josh Allen invented the hurdle. So, I mean, pretty big news. Never been done before.
Bro, didn't Lamar like full on just hurdle somebody standing up one time? I think they played like Syracuse or something like that, and this dude Lamar just full on like hurdled somebody that was standing up and landed and kept running. So forget all that Josh Allen hurdle hype. Like, he's good enough. Y'all don't have to like hype up like there's more athletic quarterbacks like Lamar that I think are more exciting to watch, but they laid an egg to the Giants.
Every time you say the word Lamar, that's like that's my Cowboys in the AFC is the Baltimore Ravens. Well, actually, it's more just Lamar Jackson, but
I don't think you understand. Man. They went up. Okay, so forget the fact that they blew a 20-10 lead in the fourth quarter, I believe. But
yes.
They should have been up 14 points because this dude Mark Andrews drops a touchdown that hits him in the face mask. And almost gets picked off too. And then I think in the first quarter, the best kicker of all time missed a field goal. So like, I think it was like a 40-yarder too, like 40-something yarder. That's a team that can't get right. That's for sure.
Well, it's interesting you say that because they beat Cincinnati on Sunday night with a last-minute field goal drive. Last week, and like I feel like that got swept under the rug so quickly, and it just I think they're first in the North, right?
They keep finding ways to blow games, man. They blew
the
Miami game somehow, some way. They blew the Buffalo game when they were dead in the water, and we might not be having this discussion of, oh, is Buffalo just that unbeatable? Does anybody want to go through Buffalo and?
Well, we're getting that in the AFC and the NFC with this Philadelphia team, so. It's sickening all across the board.
Guys. This is my last comment about Chiefs Bills, and we don't have to discuss it anymore. But this is the NFL. Look at me right now. Look at me in my eyes. This is the NFL. There are no gimmies in this league. So to insinuate just because you really like how exciting these teams are, that who could ever want to play it, or they're just food for whoever wins the NFC is just food for them. I'm willing to hedge my bets right now that neither one of those teams make the Super Bowl out of the AFC. I'm willing to hedge it right now. I don't know. We could come up with that for next week's episode, but I'm willing to bet right now that neither one of those teams make the Super Bowl because this is just this league, man. This is just this league. Y'all can't just keep talking about, oh, well, this is a gimme. Who wants to play those two teams? You know, why do we should just simulate the game. Boy, y'all act like this is college football.
Yeah, any talk of that is ridiculous. That's nonsense. Any given Sunday. Okay, and one more thing that I want to talk about and around the NFL. The celebration of the year. The Minnesota Vikings. Fellas, take it away.
The year? I mean,
the year.
It was entertaining.
The whole year.
It was entertaining.
Might have been the celebration of the century.
Oh, boy.
Ugh. Rudy, you don't even like the end zone, so you don't even like the group photo celebrations. Like, obviously,
that is how I can tell you that it is the one of the year, because the ones I have seen don't deserve to be up there. That's how I know.
I don't know, man. I can't sit there and call, like, it was all over the place. There's too much going on for my liking. I mean,
for those that didn't see it,
go ahead, Rudy. Explain to the audience.
For those that didn't see it, Minnesota gets a turnover. They run to the end zone. Okay, there are many celebrations going on. So there's chest compressions going on, one player to another, got to resuscitate him. We've got Cam Dantzler waddling like a duck. Greatest waddle I've ever seen.
Penguin.
Penguin,
We've
Rudy,
got
penguin.
a few guys. Penguin. Waddling like a penguin. Why did I say that? And then you got a few guys just sniping into the sky. I think I saw the enemy up there. You got to take them out. And then, what celebration am I missing? There's got to be some I'm missing.
Well, the ironic part is, which I will give them credit for, I think after that one they recovered a Jalen Waddle fumble. So I'll give points for I'll give points for the disrespect. But what was disrespectful is the amount of ice that dude Kirk Cousins had post game.
Oh boy,
I don't know. Here, we're gonna pull up the picture right here. That dude. That dude had his contract on with the amount of ice on there. And it's making me a little uncomfortable, quite honestly. And that grin on his face, just with the sunglasses. Who do you think's chains those were?
They probably took one from each player in his locker room. Just whoever's got one, let me bring it over. He looks like. He looks like he's dressing up as Joe Burrow for Halloween.
See, Rudy, this is what I was trying to say, man. Joe Burrow, that looked actually better than Joe Burrow. I will say that because I don't like the Joe Burrow look. That's a whole nother thing.
The small
Joe
Nike
Burrow
swoosh chain.
One little itty bitty chain. That man got on the most amount of I swear, it's like they went down the line and said, "Hey, Dalvin, let me see your chain." Justin Jefferson, let me see your chain. Who else do you think in that locker? Patrick Peterson, let me see your chain.
That might have been it.
Everson Griffin, not Everson Griffin. I'm sorry. Who's the
Zadarius?
Dude? Zadarius Smith. Let me see your chain. And they said, bro, what would be funny? Let's give them all to Kirk, man. Kirk out here balling. Let's see Kirk with the chains on. And they just went down the line, picked up every single player's chain, just put that on that man. That man got the most egregious offense is the tucked in shirt.
He was swagging.
Oh boy, that was a mess. All right, now it's time for the weekly pick'ems. But as usual, Ian, go ahead and tell us how we're doing.
Well, boys, not too hot. After this last week, all of us were under 500.
I could see it, quite honestly. I could see it. There's a whole lot of foolishness going on.
Well, let me ask you this, Justin. Who do you see in last place?
Probably myself.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh,
Justin,
wow.
In last place after last week, finishing 5-8, and we're still waiting on one result on Monday Night Football. But yes, Justin, you're bringing up the rear, and there can't be any changes because we all picked LA. So, and then not much ahead of him at 6-7 is both me and Wheezy tied for this week.
So what? You're 3 games up on me now?
Oh yeah. So now no. I'm only 2 games up on you, Justin. And I am 3 games up on Rudy. So it's really tight. 48, 46, 45.
All right, Rudy, it's time for me to get my money back. Go ahead and walk us through week 7.
That's right. Week 7 of the National Football League. And we're going to start us off in Arizona, where New Orleans is going to travel to take them on in Thursday Night Football. Fellas, who you got?
New Orleans? Yeah.
Don't sound sure. This guy just told me he was going to beat me.
Give me New Orleans.
Where are they playing?
Arizona.
Give me the Cards.
Yeah, I'm actually going the hometown Cards as well. So we'll pull away from Justin a bit there. Moving on to a thriller on Sunday at noon. We've got the Packers traveling to Washington, taking on the Commanders. Who you got?
Ain't no Wentz this game, by the way.
Are they putting in Heineke?
Broken finger, I think. Probably.
Yeah, broken finger.
Probably the pack. If Rudy, I'll let you throw the grave. I'll let you throw dirt on the old man's grave. this week if Washington pulls it out, but I'm still going with the Packers.
I too will go Pack go.
Yeah, no Wentz, no win. Packers taking it.
That's your deciding factor.
Not because of Aaron Rodgers. Moving on. We've got the Browns traveling to the team that took over for them, the Ravens. Who you got?
You mean moved?
They took over.
See, Ian, I think me and you have rode with Lamar every single week. But surely, especially with the way Cleveland be defending the run, surely they don't lose this week. So I'm gonna still ride with Lamar.
They're gonna be on a losing streak, and I'm still going down with the ship. Give me the Fighting Lamar Jacksons.
Fellas, I've jumped off the ship. Give me the Jacoby Brissetts.
Oh, I don't know if you've
the
seen
Browns
Cleveland.
gonna get it done.
I don't know if you've seen Cleveland play lately, Rudy. It's not good.
I don't know if you've seen Baltimore play, Justin.
Oh, I have. I've seen every which way.
Moving on.
Game.
We've got a divisional matchup here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to the Baker Mayfields. Fellas, who's winning?
I'll let you throw dirt on the old man's grave again, Rudy. If Carolina, yeah, if Carolina, I don't even know if Baker's playing, but if Carolina somehow wins, Rudy, you can throw dirt on his grave as well. So
I appreciate that. I'll have dirt for next week.
Give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that entire Carolina team is for sale. So give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I too will not pick the team that's selling everyone they have. Tampa Bay's going to win this one.
This man said
moving on.
This is soccer.
Moving on. We've got the Falcons traveling to Cincinnati. Fellas, who do you got?
Nah, Bengals.
This is a tough one, but I'll take the home team. Give me the Bengals.
This is not a tough one. The Bengals are going to win this one.
Oh, I think. Oh, for our betting folks out there, I think the Falcons undefeated against the spread. So,
ding ding.
Use that information.
And if you're a company that does betting, go ahead and give us a message. We'll say your name next time. Moving on.
This kicker about to die.
We've got the Detroit Lions traveling to Jerry World to take on the Cowboys.
He made it. This dude grimacing like he.
He's got a pulled hammy, so he just be falling down. He's falling down after every kick, bro.
Sorry, Rudy. Go ahead. Who is this? The Cowboys?
We're gonna do it again. All right. All right, and moving on, we got the Detroit Lions traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Who you got?
Hopefully Dak doesn't leave anything up for discussion as far as controversy, but I'll go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys.
Cowboys. Moving on. Into the battle of the surprised y'all aren't 0-5 right now. We've got the Giants taking on the Jags. Fellas, who you got?
They're not that bad. Both of those teams ain't that bad.
One team picked first overall last year, and the other one decided Daniel Jones was their starting quarterback this year. So,
go ahead, Ian. What were you about to say?
Oh, no, never mind. I wasn't going to say nothing. Give me the Giants.
Give me the G, man.
I want to hear it.
Give me the G, man. That's all you need to hear.
That's okay.
This is in Jacksonville, and I'm going to go ahead and ride with the Jaguars.
Yeah, go ahead and fall a little bit more down the standings because somehow, some way, I don't know how they're doing it, but the Giants.
I
just
believe
hang
you
around.
tumbled below me.
No, I'm ahead of you, but
damn.
The Giants somehow find a way. They somehow find a way to just hang around and fart around enough to just pull a rabbit out of their hat as soon as the game's over. So,
okay, Giants for y'all, Jags for me. Moving on, we've got the Colts taking on the Titans. Fellas, who you got?
Disgusting. Give me the Titans.
Give me the Colts.
Yeah, Colts for me. Moving on. We've got the Texans traveling to LV to take on the Raiders. Who you got?
Boy, if they can't get this game, man, give me Las Vegas.
Yeah, give me Vatican City Raiders.
Vatican City is Sin City now, apparently. Which, hey, historically always been.
Wait.
All right. Moving on.
Wait, who'd you take?
I'm taking the Raiders as well.
Oh, okay.
Did you say you're switching to the Texans?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Moving on. We've got the Jets taking on the Broncos.
Is this in
Give
Denver?
me the Jets.
Yeah. It is in Denver.
Yeah, give me Sauce and them boys.
I'm upset I'm even doing this.
You're riding with Russ?
Give me the limited one.
Oh, my word. Wow. Against that defense? Okay.
I know. It's gross, but Zach Wilson, it's the same player on the other side. Moving on. We've got an interesting matchup here. Chiefs traveling to San Fran. Take on Jimmy G. Fellas, who you got?
That San Fran defense, they're all on like IR, so give me Kansas City.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't Nick hurt?
Yeah, like he's hurt. Like half the secondary is hurt. Like a couple other D linemen are hurt. It's ugly.
And so
Trent
you're going
Williams
to take...
is hurt.
Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, chefs for me as well. Moving on. We've got the Seahawks taking on the Chargers in LA. Who do you have winning?
Give me the Seahawks.
Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I think Justin wants me to pass him. Chargers. Moving on. Sunday Night Football. We've got the Dolphins traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Oh, excuse me. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Fellas, who do you have?
Give me Miami because Tua on out of concussion protocol, I believe, and he might be getting the start.
I just hope that man stays protected against the Steelers defense, but I will also take Miami.
And I'll complete the sweep. Miami for me. And finally, Monday Night Football, we'll be watching the Bears take on the Patriots.
Bro,
fellas,
can we
is it Justin Fields or Bailey Zappi?
Hold on, before we get there, can we just stop pretending that the Chicago market matters? They have no business getting all these
Justin
games. They get
I have some
a year.
Justin Fields cards that I'm trying to get some value on.
They get 5 a year.
No, I need him to do something in prime time.
Well,
I need it.
They pooped the bed last week against Washington. So,
Give me the Pats.
Patriots.
And again, I'll complete the sweep. Give me the Patriots. Ugh.
Anything else?
Nope.
Nah.
All right, let's get out of here. And thanks again, Cooper Rush. You did well, my man.
This man feel guilty.